and she was like, I just want to show you the candle that I got. Yeah. And it was wickless, Kevin.
Wickless,
it
yeah.
Didn't have, she opens it up, it doesn't have a wick. I mean, I can't imagine. Netflix must just be pulling their hair out.
No. You guys, there's no wick. Wait, producer Kylie, there's no wick, right? Am I crazy?
So you are not going to believe what happened when I opened the box. When I got back, there's no wick again. No way to light this thing.
No, I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. You guys, this isn't a stunt. There's literally nothing to light in here.
You had one job. Put the wick in the candle. We're not selling candles at Walmart.
When potential buyers opened their As Ever packages, they were expecting a premium candle experience, but instead, they got a worthless paperweight that could not, in any universe, be lit. No flame and no glow. Just a jar full of disappointment. The buyers suddenly realized that they had paid boutique prices for something that did not meet the absolute bare minimum definition of a $2 candle.
No, it's not pasted down. My producer's in my ear. Is it pasted down? No, it's not pasted down. Zoom in. There's literally nothing. There's nothing to light on the candle. This is like Meghan Markle's career. Failure to launch. Oh my God. Wait, this is not a joke. I ordered Meghan Markle's candle. There's nothing to light. I literally want a refund. Meghan Markle, send me a frickin' refund. So I paid. How much did I pay for this?
Fasten your seatbelts, because we are diving headfirst into the latest, greatest, most fragrant flop from the woman who just can't seem to get it right. You see, our dear Duchess decided to sell us the feeling of being a royal. And for the low price of $64, you could own a piece of the Markle Magic, a candle from her deeply personal, meticulously crafted lifestyle brand.
So what is the grand vision for As Ever?
I don't want it to feel generic. I don't want it to feel cookie cutter. I don't want it to feel like it was phoned in.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you'd imagine that the As Ever candles smells of California sunshine, ancient English roses, and the subtle, intoxicating scent of relevance. But what customers actually received? It was nothing. Literally. The candle arrived with no scent, no glow, and no wick.
There's no wick. Is that normal?
Are you serious?
Is that the thing?
I've had
There's no wick.
I've had 2 people tell me that there was no wick when they ordered a candle.
There's literally no wick.
Are you kidding?
I have an empty wick list. How do I light it?
The so-called luxury candle, priced higher than most family dinners, arrived wickless. A generic, fragranceless, and utterly useless cylinder of wax. In fact, it cannot even be called a candle. It's technically a paperweight with an identity crisis. The only thing it illuminates is the staggering level of incompetence of Meghan Markle and her team. And get this, it wasn't some one-off oopsie-daisy. This was a pattern that kept on repeating like a viral trend.
The content was worth it, actually. It's almost Shakespearean and comedic and tragic. The way we opened the candle, we're so excited. I was running around the house looking for matches beforehand, texting my producer. We were gonna do a whole thing. We opened it, it was like, there's no wick. Okay, like I said, it's a metaphor for Meghan Markle's career. Nothing is lighting, nothing is igniting, and nothing is taking off. And then when you go to the As Ever website, the fact that the link is broken to report a damaged product, that is insane.
At first, defenders tried to spin it as a misunderstanding. Maybe it was intentional. Maybe it was a wickless diffuser concept. Maybe consumers were just too basic to understand the high-end design. Well, that theory lasted about 5 minutes, right up until someone noticed the instructions printed on the bottom of the jar. Trim the wick.
And it says on the bottom, always trim wick to 1/4. So this is not intentional. I thought this was like a thing she does.
No.
The candles say trim the wick, a bold command for a wick that does not exist. It's not a design feature, it's a production failure of the highest order. It's like selling a car without an engine and putting a sticker on the dashboard that says, "Remember to check your oil."
And I think it signifies something quite big, which is that Not only is As Ever failing, but Meghan's starting to sort of lose interest in actually promoting her brand. And if your brand is already failing, the worst you can do is actually start acting like you think it is too.
And this brings us to the question that nobody on the As Ever team apparently asked. How does a candle company ship multiple batches of candles without checking whether they can actually be used as candles? Because, let's be honest, a wick is not an optional accessory. It is not some obscure technical detail. Rather, it is one of the 4 essential components of a candle: wax, container, scent, and wick. Remove any one of those and you no longer have a candle. You have an idea of a candle, and yet these were sold at $64 a pop. That is not an impulse buy. That is not a cute splurge. That is a premium price that carries premium expectations. Expectations, for example, basic functionality, which was completely flushed down the drain by Meghan and company.
I ordered the candle came without a wick. This is not even a stunt. I literally opened it on camera. Her candle that was $64 was not lightable, okay? It was a metaphor for her career. Nothing was igniting, nothing was lighting, there was nothing on the inside. So Meghan Markle, it's actually quite pathetic to see someone fall from grace so hard.
And the customers who finally got the chance to smell the product, they were not impressed either. Complaints described weak scent throw, underwhelming fragrance, and an overall experience that felt closer to bargain bin than luxury lifestyle. People compared it unfavorably to mass market candles that cost a quarter of the price. Except those ones, they have wicks. They actually function. They perform their one singular fundamental job. Meghan's candle can't even clear that bar. It's a monument to failure and a tomb for your cash.
It's always my question. We often talk a lot about Meghan. I mean, everything she does seems to turn to a disaster, but she never gives up trying. I mean, she is a sort of whirl of disastrous activity.
So when customers realized the candle didn't really match what they thought they were buying, they did the normal thing. They asked for a refund, or at least a replacement that actually worked. And this is where the frustration started, because instead of getting help, many people say they were met with silence. Emails went unanswered. Requests were bounced back with automated replies. Some were told there were no refunds at all.
I actually tried to get a refund, but when you go to Meghan Markle's website for her brand As Ever, it says they don't do refunds for the type of products that they sell. So I really got Markled, you guys, and we took a screenshot, okay? If you go to the website to even click and report a damaged product, the link is broken.
Nothing irritates customers faster than feeling ignored after they've already spent their money. The mood online shifted almost overnight. What began as light mockery turned into genuine complaints. People started talking about filing with the FTC, leaving reviews with the Better Business Bureau, even mentioning the possibility of class action cases. Whether any of that goes anywhere is another question, but the fact those conversations started tells you how upset buyers were. At that point, this wasn't just a funny launch that didn't land. It started to look like a customer service problem.
Meghan Markle is seemingly giving up on As Ever because her efforts to actually help sell her products continue to get abysmally worse. The simple answer is, guys, is that the brand is failing. Meghan Markle knows it's failing, and she's starting to slip up because she's freaking out about the failure. At least that's my opinion.
And this is where Meghan Markle reportedly lost it. Because in her mind, this was supposed to be the 16th safe play. Candles are the softest of soft launches. They are the beige couch of lifestyle brands. They are forgiving. They are simple. They are not supposed to end with legal exposure and Reddit threads. But the candle fiasco did not happen in a vacuum. It landed in the middle of a much bigger problem: the slow collapse of the Meghan Markle brand.
Will you
take this huge chunk of wax home that you can't light because there's no wick in the candle?
It's the novelty candle that you can't light.
Reports that As Ever products ended up in Netflix swag trash bags for departing employees said more than any press release ever could. That is not partnership energy. That is, please take this so we do not have to deal with it energy. When your own business partner treats your luxury goods like leftover conference lanyards, the message is clear. This is not a brand that commands respect, but something that people tolerate out of politeness until they stop being polite.
It was announced last week after you and I spoke. Netflix has officially canceled. With love, Meghan. Now, but I think the headline here is that Netflix felt the need to announce that rather than just let it fritter away and let people forget. Yeah. To me, it says that they are done with Meghan Markle.
The Netflix glow is gone. The buzz has faded. Projects that were supposed to redefine her cultural footprint have quietly tanked. With Love, Meghan did not land the way it was hyped. Viewership dropped. Interest waned. The conversation moved on. And now, even Netflix seems eager to create distance, as they have officially announced the cancellation of Meghan's dear show, as the viewership collapsed way faster than the structural integrity of a royal interview. Meghan's cultural relevance is shrinking faster than the polar ice caps, and the Archwell Foundation is looking more and more like a ghost ship. The podcast deal went up in smoke, and every venture she touches seems to turn to dust, or in this case, cold, useless wax.
$64 for your wickless candle.
That's crazy.
$64 for your wickless candle.
Oh my God.
No wonder Netflix is like, you are the plague. We have got to get away from you.
Imagine spending $64 on a non-functional product, contacting the company and being told, politely, robotically, or not at all, that you're basically out of luck. That's not luxury branding. That's how you speedrun consumer backlash. This is the same Meghan Markle who lectures the public about excellence, intention, and doing things the right way. The same Meghan who positioned herself as a thoughtful tastemaker, bringing elegance to the masses. And yet here we are, with her wickless candles, ignored customers, and legal rumblings. All from a brand that looks less like goop and more like a warning label.
She's just very unlikable. She takes herself way too seriously. She's trying to sell all these products that nobody wants to buy. So really, I'm not surprised. And I want to like Meghan Markle. I really do. But she's just so unlikable, just like all of her products, that she can't even give away.
Meghan's As Ever is no longer a lifestyle brand. That ship has sailed, sunk, and been strip-mined for parts. It's a cautionary tale, a warning screamed into the void of celebrity vanity projects. It's a lesson in what happens when you believe your own hype so completely that you think people will pay luxury prices for bargain bin quality, delivered with a side of contempt. It's a story of overpricing, underwhelming, and ignoring the very consumers you claim to champion. It's a masterclass in how to destroy goodwill, one wickless wonder at a time.
How they talked about how Meghan will promote a restock for an item that never sold out. So she's trying to go, oh my gosh, it's back in stock. Well, it's been sitting on your site for 6 months, They were also talking about the way she tries to repackage these things. She just throws a ribbon on 2 cans and says, oh, this is the Valentine's Day package.
This is what happens when branding outpaces competence. When image comes before infrastructure. When you assume your name alone justifies a price tag. Meghan being famous doesn't make her good at business. Being overconfident doesn't make her detail-oriented. And slapping the word luxury on a box doesn't magically turn wax into gold.
There better be a wick, okay? There better be something that I can actually light. I actually think this is a joke. This has to be a prank, you guys. The candle, I will say, it's weighty. It's heavy. It doesn't feel cheap. I'll give her credit for that. It doesn't feel cheap. The problem is, you can't light it, you bird brain bitch. There's nothing in here.
This candle disaster may end up costing far more than refunds. Reputations don't recover easily from basic failures, especially not when customers feel dismissed. And here's the real kicker. This could have been fixed early. A recall, a public apology, immediate refunds, clear communication. Instead, what buyers report is silence and stonewalling. That's how small problems become big scandals. Now, instead of launching a lifestyle empire, Meghan Markle is facing questions about accountability, transparency, and whether her ventures are built on substance or it's just smoke and mirrors.
In my very personal opinion, is very much a ripoff. And we see this reflected in Meghan's latest pitiful seasonal offerings for Christmas, which don't bring to mind Christmas at all. You're paying an extra $6 for a pointless box. And when it comes to her candles, they're $64 a pop. This is the most delusional and self-indulgent launch yet, and reveals, again, so many of the problems with As Ever as a brand. It's meandering, it's unfocused, and you have a founder here who has no idea who her audience is.
What really sinks this whole thing is how predictable it feels. Anyone who has followed Meghan Markle's post-royal business arc could have called this months ago. Big announcements, big claims, and a fat pricing tag. There was very little evidence that anyone with actual operational experience was steering the ship. Because here's the unglamorous truth. Luxury brands are boring behind the scenes. They are run by people who obsess over suppliers, batch testing, packaging audits, and returns processing. You know, the actual business stuff, not your regular girl boss entrepreneur vibes.
And I imagine this latest offering, which has not sold out, is going to struggle to move product because nobody wants to pay $64 for a candle to smell like Meghan Markle.
There is also a strange disconnect between how Meghan presents herself and how her businesses operate. She positions herself as deeply thoughtful, deliberate, and almost perfectionist. Yet the ventures themselves keep showing cracks that suggest haste and overconfidence. That disconnect erodes trust fast. People can forgive mistakes. They struggle to forgive arrogance paired with mistakes. And yes, arrogance matters here. Charging luxury prices is a statement. It says you believe your product is exceptional. When that confidence is not backed by execution, it comes off as entitlement rather than ambition.
And Meghan Markle, she says she's all about this attention to detail. Clearly she's not, okay? Meghan Markle, she needs to roll up her sleeves, go to that factory, because this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. It's also just disappointing, right?
Somewhere out there is a customer holding the candle, staring at the label that says, "Trim the wick," wondering if the wick is a metaphor. Maybe the fire was inside us all along. Maybe the real flame was the journey. Or maybe someone just didn't do their job. What really sends it into parody territory is the price. If this were a $12 candle, people would have shrugged and lit something else. At $64, people feel morally obligated to tell everyone they've ever met. You don't quietly take an L at that price point. You post, you rant, and you tell your group chat like you just survived something.
They said, hand poured into our elegant ceramic vessel. And when they say hand poured, do they mean hand poured in a sweatshop in China? Because who's hand pouring these candles? It's not Meghan Markle.
From palace intrigue to podcast deals to now wickless candles, the through line is becoming painfully clear. Big promises, bigger pricing, and execution that never quite shows up. Because when you can't get a candle right, people start wondering what else you're cutting corners on. As Ever was supposed to signal timeless quality. Instead, it's becoming shorthand for overhyped, underdelivered, and possibly legally messy.
Meghan Markle is now selling in her holiday collection. I didn't even know she had a holiday collection. She is selling 2 candles that retail for $64. Okay, $64, let's say plus tax and shipping. You're spending almost $100 on a Meghan Markle candle. If you're doing that, you need help.
A luxury brand should glow, but this one just fizzled. So here's to you, Meghan. You set out to sell a dream, a feeling, a spark. And you succeeded. You sparked outrage, and you proved, once and for all, that the only thing burning down here is Meghan's last shred of credibility, and not her wickless candles.